in the first rotation. And now Oregon State will head to the bars and BYU will go to the vault. And then rotation 3 and 4 will have the beam and the floor. Guard Young, the head coach for Brigham Young University in his 10th year. His father, Wayne Young, a BYU gymnast, 1970 to 1975. Men's head coach, 79 to 87. And there they are with their medals. Guard winning an Olympic silver medal with the United States at the Athens Games in '04.
And Wayne won the 1976 Olympic medal. He was team captain for the U.S. team after not having been a gymnast before he went to college. Guard said that Wayne built the BYU program, built the gym that they train in now. He spent sleepovers there, birthday parties, really a family storied tradition of the Youngs at BYU.
And his dad is an incredible story himself. He was a great athlete, as you mentioned, walked on gymnastics at BYU campus. He had previously been a wrestler, a diver, a skier, and then coached gymnastics there. And then after 8 years of doing that, 1987, he went to medical school, had residency. A dozen years later, set up a practice in Provo. He's 72 years old. That's Guard Young. His father, Wayne, 72 years old, still a thriving practice. Amazing story.
What can't he do? And not to mention, they have a sister as well who competed on the BYU team. So really impressive family there. His sister, Jessica, competed from 1995 to 1998. And this is Guard Young's first year just focusing on coaching vaults. Said it's an event for them where they only have one of those 10-0 start values. So they really look for very, very clean Yurchenko layout fulls, which we'll see throughout their lineup. Pretty young group there with your 3 freshmen and the 1 sophomore in their lineup.
He said, hey, you know we don't have the start value other teams do. We know we're not going to win vault. We just want to be clean, not lose too much ground. And as we saw with Caitlin Garcia, a cleaner 9.95 is better than a 10.0 that's not clean.
It can be much more reliable, that Yurchenko full can, than the 1.5. So the risk-reward decision, very important for each coach to make.
And Sophie Dudley will start matters off. Last week, vaulted to a 9.7 in Nashville.
Very nice full. Great height, good distance. Her hop was almost as high as she was coming down from the vault. That's where you want to see them absorb, bend their knees to sort of stop that rotation, which is can be a lot harder than it sounds.
Bars lineup for Oregon State. We'll see Jade Carey anchoring things again. And here is Carly Beeman, our lone look at her today. Has a new routine with a different release. Didn't compete in week 1, though she did exhibition. 26 bars routines in her 4-year Oregon State career. Competition for the Oregon State bars lineup really tough.
Yes, this is her new move here. Coming after her toe on is the Maloney. That is new, and she has to connect into a pack. Good job. Didn't have the biggest backswing to generate power out of that Maloney.
Did you like the half pirouette?
It was decent. It was within 20 degrees, but that is what I love from her, that stalter to the double tuck. Just a gorgeous job at the end of the routine, landing with the stick. You know, she was in exhibition last week, as you mentioned, but they gave her the nod and does a phenomenal job to start them off. Let's see, she's quite a bit taller. Does a nice job getting within 10 degrees, finishes the stalter, double tuck, nice and open, spots the landing for the stick.
Carly Beeman, the senior from Golden, Colorado. Only time we will see her today. And now here's Deb Silva after the 9.6 by Sophie Dudley. Exhibition on vault last week, posting a 9.75. Looked like she belonged. The freshman, they think she's ready for the lineup. Her first collegiate competitive routine.
Awesome job.
Yes. Way to go, Deb Silva.
Maybe slid the right foot just a tiny bit from my angle, but she was a late lineup change on vault for them, and clearly Guard Young knows what he is doing. Nice repulsion, straight body, and I take that back. I don't think her right foot did slide. I think she nailed her career debut.
Deb Silva, Linden, Utah, just north of Provo, about 9 miles from the BYU campus. Got a bull gymnastics and a bull debut for her in college. 9.75 for Carly Beeman with her new routine. And now here is Natalie Briones. Briones got a 9.75 on vault. Week 1 last week on bars. 9.675, looking for a bounce back. Her career high is 9.9.
Nice flight on that Maloney. Very pretty pack. A little bit of an arched back in that half pirouette. You see them completely straight like she was in that handstand. And closes with a big double layout. Nice and floaty, but gets that hop back. One of the very minor deductions that we saw in that routine for Natalie. Had to make a slight adjustment to her routine in the beginning. She adds a toe circle before that Maloney. But I love the height on the pack. And the way she's really stretched on these giants into the big double layout.
Last time we'll see her today, her brother Brandon, the gymnast at Stanford, last competed in 2023, an alternate for the U.S. at the Tokyo Olympics. 9.7 for Deb Silva, and now here is Ava Jorgensen, their lone gymnast with a 10.0 start value. Scored just a 9.425 in week 1. Her career high is 9.9. Let's see if she goes with a 10.0.
She'll do the complicated full-on back pike off. Important to complete that full. And
did not go with the 10.0.
Nope, that was
it a
the 10.0.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
But I hesitated a little bit there because technically from the board to the table, she's supposed to do a completely full twist. And in my estimation, her hands only got halfway around. So if the judges really wanted to, they could devalue that to a half on front, half off, which is not going to be the 10.0 start value. Looks like they did give her the 10.0 start value. We'll just get a 9.65. That is such an intricate ball.
9.85 for Natalie Briones, and now here is Taylor DeVries. Taylor, only time we'll see her today, though she's expected exhibition on floor. The third last week, called the 9.65.
Oh, again, a little bit of a struggle on the Maloney. The backswing didn't quite have all the momentum that she needed, so the pack looked a little bit labored, some form breaks, but she has such a gorgeous swing, toe point, and really gears up to a phenomenal double layout, but the hop back as well. Not the best routine that we have seen from her.
9.6 range again?
9.6 range again, yep, just a few little things, but if we take a look here at this Maloney, the way she catches, and her body was piked when she caught the high bar, so really important to catch that in the perfect position to generate enough backswing behind the bar to be able to counter that in the pack salto to the low bar. But you can see she gets so much power, great height and distance on that. Just has to take the hop back.
Taylor DeVries evaluating her scores. Jorgensen had the aforementioned 9.65. And now here is Maya Kirkham, one of 2 gymnasts, along with Kylie Quinto. Expected to do the all-around today. She had a 9.775 on bars. 9.75 on vault last week.
Very clean Lutsenko full. Hips were a little more closed in that twist than I would like. Really want to have flat and open hips so your body is just straight up and down. But again, Gardyon talked about these being very clean, which they have been thus far. You can see him talking about the shoulder position that's so important to get a big repulsion off the ball.
Now for the 9.725 by DeVries. Here's Jennifer McMillan. Just a 9.575 on vault.
She won, or she beat Jade Carey on bars last week, went 9.925. Gorgeous. Do you see her backswing went all the way up, nearly height of the bar, which allowed her to just float into that bail handstand. And oh no, she's gonna go over on that, unfortunately. So it's gonna drop off.
Just couldn't quite hold it. You can see in her wrist, she's trying to twist and get back.
She was really trying to go for broke on that handstand, which is what they want. Again, this is only the second meet of the season. Gymnasts or coaches typically are okay with these errors of too much effort. Look at that handstand position. Just
last year, as a sophomore, she hit all 25 routines. A rare miss for her.
Yeah, definitely a rare miss. And then a couple hops back. You can see she's disappointed with that bar routine because, like you mentioned, very uncharacteristic. We'll take a look at this miss where she just goes too much over. You throw your head down to your chest to try to pull it back over, and sometimes if your shoulders are too far over the bar, you're just not going to be able to do that, and then masters it the next time around. And this double layout, a little pikey on the second flip, bends the hips a little too much on the way down, which caused those few extra hops.
9.775 for Maya Kirkham, matching her score on bars. And now here is Kylie Equento at a 9.775 on bars. Week 1 in Nashville on vault, posted a 9.725, looking to take a step up.
We'll also do that Chenko fold out. For those of you paying attention, the code for that is a 414. You can see on the score flasher there. Great job controlling the landing. Leaving the judges with no deductions to take on the landing. Lacked a little bit of height off of the vault itself, but great air awareness to be able to find and hold on to that landing. So just that tiny extra movement on the landing there, so she bends the knees and then they go straight again. Unfortunately, that is also a deduction. The judges just find anything that they can take here, but still so impressive to throw yourself down the vault runway, over the vault, and then not move your feet.
9.275 for McMillan after the fall, and now here is Sage Thompson. We'll also see her on floor later at a 9.75 on vault. At a 9.825, going 5th in the lineup last week in the team's opening meet of the season on bars.
This is a newly choreographed routine for her. We'll open with a ginger. Beautifully done, just a tiny leg separation on the catch. Does a toe on here, and then her pack salto down to the low bar. Gorgeous control.
Had a perfect 10 at Utah, while a student there as a freshman 3 years ago.
Really beautiful positioning throughout. Just a double layout here to close.
Just.
Oh, and unfortunately takes that step forward. But a great comeback routine for them. And a new routine composition. She has done so many different routines, which is evidence of how powerful and dynamic she is on the bars. This double layout, you'll see her chest is just a little bit forward on the landing. You want your shoulders stacked on top of your hips, stacked on top of your feet in a straight line down to really assure you are in position to stick that landing.
Kylie Equento's second 9.775 of the day, and now here's the anchor on vault, Jaden Harsh. The only time we'll see her today. Collegiate debut last week in Nashville, a 9.7 on vault. The redshirt freshman from Linden, Utah.
And that layout half, very nice landing on that forward landing. We talk about how difficult that is because you can't spot the floor. That also worth a 9.95. But very pretty. This BYU lineup, they show great command of vault. Now, there are some areas of improvement in terms of amplitude, distance, blocks, etc. But it's only the second week. They've got plenty of opportunity to grow throughout the season.
A 9.8 for Sage Thompson. It was a quarter of a tenth off her score last week, and now here is Jade Carey coming off a 9.9 on vault. Big round of applause from this huge crowd for the three-time Olympic medalist. 2 golds, 1 bronze.
A new connection for her. She'll do a toe on into her Bahardwaj, the full twisting pack salto. So difficult, and the float on that is just exceptional. Good handstand before the Van Leeuwen. Nice legs together. and a new double layout dismount coming up for her. She learned it in the off-season just for fun. Oh my gosh.
One of the best in the world, Jade Carey.
I mean, the float on that double layout. She completed both saltos at the height of the high bar. Wow.
And they're calling for it, raising the chainsaw for damnation.
I love across the country the 10 and the stick, I don't know, paraphernalia that they have. Washington has a chain, Stanford has a stick, but the Beavers have a chainsaw.
What was wrong with it?
There were very few things. Again, we're sitting,
hard to quibble.
Yeah, we're sitting far over here. The judges are very close. But just a special looking bar routine that, you know, is well deserving of the 995 from both judges. So that will be her score. Unless there's been a score at a different meet while we've been here, there is yet to be a 10 recorded across the country. So Jade getting about as close as you can with this fantastic bar routine.
Wow. She had a 10 a couple of times, once 3 years ago, once 2 years ago. This a 995.
Wow.
Half a tenth better than last week.
Yeah, the height on that double layout is really exceptional.
She said, I get bored. I've never done a double layout on bars. Ho-hum. Coach said, oh, she can easily go back to her half in, half out.
Right. This is an exhibition from Francesca Casso, Jr. She opened the bar lineup last week, sort of flip-flopping with Carly Beeman in that position. Does a very nice job with the depth that the Beavers have. Coach Chaplin said they will continue to just adjust the lineups, give everyone experience.
Her dad, Mark Casso, gymnast at UCLA, on UCLA's 1984 national championship team. Later spent time as an actor and stuntman in Hollywood. Played the role of Leonardo in the second and third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, of all things. Francesca Casso's dad, Mark Casso.
That is a fun note. What a unique childhood she must have had.
And her dad actually broke 2 vertebrae in his neck as a freshman at UCLA, and later came back and did all those things we just talked about. Doctors fused his spine. He didn't have any movement for 90 minutes. They used a bone from his hip. 10 months later, he was competing again. Now here is Savannah Miller, second exhibition on bars for Oregon State. Hasn't competed on bars this year. She entered the bars lineup late in the season last year and hit all 6 of her routines, including a pair of 985s.
Very nice toe on into the Maloney. Again, that ever important backswing. Landed the pack salto a little bit close. Good position. She winds up into her double layout, hop backwards, but really showing the depth that they have, and a great job for her.
That's not good enough to be in the lineup.
Right, exactly. That means that you've got some good problems. Michael Chaplin does, the bars coach, in assembling that lineup. Really special.
Junior from Waterford, Michigan, Savannah Miller. The scores for Oregon State: 1 fall, Jennifer McMillan, the first for her at least since 2 years ago. She hit all 25 of her routines last year. Jade Carey, a 995 after the 99 in week 1. It was an excellent bars routine for the 3-time Olympic medalist.
Yep, and important for them to get over that 49 mark. That is about the baseline that they want to be at. If you go 49s across the 4 events, you'll be at 196. Coach Chaplin said their goal is to make it to the top 8 again. To be in the top 8, you need to be regularly scoring above about 197, 197.5 probably. But it's week 2. Focus on what you can control, which is not the scores.
And for BYU, slightly better than week